crazy because this is a celebration. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Lyrics. I'm your girl, Lyric Bay. If it's your first time meeting me, how far now? What's it this up? How about D? If you don't know what that means, don't worry. I'll break it down for you. All I'm doing is greeting you. I'm saying what's up. Today, I want to talk about the lyrics for one of my new songs. The song is titled Big Pressure. As you can see, I'm in theme with my shirt. I'm really hurt. And that's basically the essence of the song Big Pressure. By the way, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you can come back and catch more episodes and lyric breakdowns. So let's get into it. So, Big Pressure. In the intro of the song, I'm doing something like a vibe, okay? I worked really closely with a great producer named Wonder Magic. And he's from Nigeria. He is prolific. I love working with him. He really understands my sound. And so when we were creating Big Pressure, so Magic was like, hey, babe, can you like just give us like a vibe, like mumble? It doesn't have to be exact words, you know, just, of course, Big Pressure. But the rest, you can just mumble in some stuff. And I was like, I don't know. Let's try it. So he played the track, and I was like, pressure, pressure, back up and wine. Giving them the vibe. So, if you're trying to understand what the lyrics are that I said there, I said, there was nothing. There was no real lyrics. I just ended up just vibing. It was meant to just be a feeling, you know, to set up the scene for what's to come. So what's to come, do you ask? Man, Big Pressure is an anthem, right? For ladies of all shapes and sizes, whether you're quite literally a big girl or if you're, you know, maybe one of the slimmer ladies. Like, it doesn't matter what size you are, you're Big Pressure. You're a big vibe, you know? And so I wanted to make a song that the girls can sing along with and be like, yes, I'm that girl. You didn't know? You know, my body's sweet like honey. I'm a bad girl. You can touch me. You know? Make it last though. No story. I'm a heavy vibe. You know me. You know? Tell me when you're ready. No dulling, he's steady. Like, as in, when I say no dulling, he's steady, I'm meaning like, you know, don't kill the vibe. You know, we're giving you steady vibes. You know, Big Mama, I'm flexing. I'm giving you big pressure. You know, that's the vibe of the song. I want everybody that sings it to just feel like you that chick, and can't nobody tell you you not. Or even if it's a guy, if you want to sing it, you the man. Can't nobody tell you you're not Big Pressure. You are. You're really him. You're really her. And then I go on to say, I know that you know when we get into the mood. Every move that I make, we go deeper in the mood. So, I'm letting you know that I can handle my business. And you know it. You know it. You know it. Tell the truth. I lie for you. And then the next part is almost like a playful jab, you know, at the guy. Like, I basically said, baby more, which is like my baby, right? So I said, baby more, tell me true, what is it you want to make me do? Like, I'm saying, my baby, tell me honestly, what do you want us to do from here? That's what I was saying. And so then it goes into, from there, the chorus, which is basically just the vibe. Big pressure all night long. Should you feel the vibes? That basically is saying like, I mean, really, you can feel the vibes, right? Like obviously you can feel the vibes. You know, and then I continue with the repetition. Again, intentional repetition. It matters when you're trying to drive home your point in songwriting. You know, I go give you big pressure until the early morn. And that's how the hook rounds out. So the last part of the song that I want to highlight for you guys that might be something you haven't heard before is the beginning of the second verse. So at the top of the second verse, when we were getting ready to start writing the next section of the song, I was just discussing with Magic that I want my sound. We were discussing how my sound has evolved over the years because we've been working together for several years now, and you know, just also my personality. I wanted to start infusing more of my silliness, I always tell people that I guess more crazy, you know, meaning that I'm a little crazy. I want to start infusing my cruise and my banter and, you know, all of those things into my lyrics more. So I have this tendency, if I see, you know, for example, a very pretty girl or a very handsome guy, I have this tendency to wine people. What does that mean? Whining them? It means like, it's like a form of flattery. You know, I'll say nice, sweet things, even though I mean now. Like, I mean what I'm saying genuinely. If I see a pretty girl, I think it costs nothing to be kind and to let her know, like, my dear, you're beautiful, you know? Or if I see a guy and I'll tell him, hey, man, you're a very handsome boy. Like, he's really handsome, you know, he's a very handsome guy. So I feel like it's good to acknowledge people and let them feel seen, you know, or make them feel seen. So because I have this kind of character normally, you know, I wanted to infuse that into my lyrics. But I have also a kind of funny way of, especially in past songs like Rhyme Book, Her Dreams, even to an extent, some of the songs on the Cruise EP. Sometimes my banter can be a little mannish, you know, it can be a little aggressive. So I wanted to also infuse some of my aggressiveness in with my personality. So the way that Magic said it was like, you need to say something like a guy lyric, basically meaning that I need to say something that a guy would normally say to a girl, but I want to switch it and say it as a lady to a guy, right? So essentially we landed on the lyric, you know, I did done for you, anything where you want me I go do, hey, you know, like quite literally I'm saying like, I've gone crazy for you, you know, in a very aggressive way, right? Normally it's something a guy would say. It's so dramatic of a statement, and especially coming from a lady, it's so unexpected. So that's why we landed on that lyric choice, which I think was a smart one because it drove home the changes to the melody, but also, you know, the meaning of the song, and it emphasized that, man, I don't even talk like regular girls because I'm really her. I'm big pressure. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoy the track. I hope you're vibing with it. Making Big Pressure gave me the same feeling that I had when I made the song Fine Boy. I have a song called Fine Boy. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. It's really cool. It's a song about what girls say about guys when we're watching you guys in the club. It's what we're thinking. So that kind of lighthearted, fun vibe, I had that kind of vibe with Big Pressure. You know, just lighthearted, fun, giving the maximum frequency, the maximum vibes, the maximum pressure. So thank you guys again for joining me today on this episode of Behind the Lyrics, where we dug into my song Big Pressure. I hope you guys have enjoyed these breakdowns as much as I'm enjoying bringing them to you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, keep vibing, keep streaming, and come back here to this very space for another episode of Behind the Lyrics. I'm Lyric Bay. I'll see you guys soon.
Oh my God, it's magic.
Big pressure,